How's it going, guys? Nintendo enthusiast here. So one thing a lot of people are not a fan of is streaming games to Nintendo Switch rather than playing them natively. I think we can all agree that anytime we see that cloud streaming logo in a Nintendo Switch game trailer, we get a little bummed out because who wants to play a game like that? There's a chance of getting less than great visuals, and of course input lag is a big concern for a lot of people. However, recently the Nintendo Switch OLED model hit the market, and thankfully the dock now has an Ethernet port, so if you do want to stream games, this is the best option you have to do so. And now that my Nintendo Switch is finally hardwired, today I wanted to test out a few streaming only games and see how they are on Switch to see if it's actually an acceptable way to play a game. Because as I'm sure you know, upcoming titles like the Kingdom Hearts trilogy and of course Guardians of the Galaxy next week, you might be curious if this is a viable way to play games. So without further ado, let's test it out. So here we are with a game called The Forgotten City. This is a narrative-driven game that actually used to be a Skyrim mod that ended up spinning off into a full game, which is pretty cool. It came to Switch in cloud form, unfortunately. I'm not sure why. It seems like it would have been able to run on Switch natively, but maybe this is the easier option for developers. And yeah, so this is a slower-paced game, so maybe this is the type of game that would make sense to stream on Switch. Let's see how it controls. Now, I will say first off, we got some bad. Oh, that is bad. That is not good. There's some weird judder, weird fuzziness going on there for a second. Maybe it'll be fine now. Let's see, how do you run? That's how you zoom. You run with LZ, so I'm going to try and run around, test this out. Now, surprisingly, I don't feel like any input lag at all. That's actually really impressive. Like, it might be there, but I don't notice it, like one bit. So that's pretty cool. However, the visuals, they're not looking too solid. It is a bit fuzzy on my end. Either way, the game has great graphics. It just looks a little fuzzy whenever you're playing it like this. Like, that's the worst part. Everything is just a tad bit fuzzy, and then see how it like does little hiccups like that? That seems pretty common. Okay, so I'm falling in a hole now. But this is a good test on the hardware, or not the hardware, but on the streaming software. I guess there is hardware playing somewhere across the United States, streaming this game from. But yeah, I am really impressed with the input lag. I seriously don't feel anything. I feel like I'm playing a native game when it comes to the movement, but the visuals obviously are a bit blurry. This game is a really pretty game though. And honestly, if you don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One or a PS5 or Series X or PC, and you wanted to play this game, which is just a narrative game, it's not like you're doing all types of different action in this game. This is a totally fine way to play a game like this, but we're going to test out a more action-heavy game next. So let's go ahead and jump on into Control. So this initial load-up is actually pretty dang long. I've been sitting in a black screen now for probably 20 seconds. I'm wondering, did the game freeze? Is it just taking a long time? Is it trying to find the servers or something? I'm not sure, but this isn't a very good sign about Switch streaming. Okay, now the second load is taking quite a long time. I'm going to have to cut all this so the video is not like 5 minutes long of just loading. But yeah, this is taking quite a bit. With companies like Google Stadia, even though it gets a lot of crap, I mean, it does actually load really fast, and it actually is pretty convenient for people who want to play a game and just jump right in. Whereas this, you have to boot up the game, then it has to do an initial load, then it has to do another load to actually load the game. So between all that, I mean, there's just really not, I don't know, it's just not great in my opinion. But I guess we'll see. This is still taking a long time. I did not expect it to take this long. Like, I want to be completely frank with everyone because I'm assuming a lot of people were wondering if the Switch OLED, now that it has the Ethernet port, is streaming like a good option. And as of right now, I would not say it's great. I was impressed with the input lag, but this load time for Control is insanely long. It seems like it's finally done. I think so. It'll be here any second now. Maybe not. Maybe we got another black screen situation. Nope, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and skip the cutscenes since I've already been waiting forever. Okay, so now we're in the game. Looks pretty good. High frame rate. I would say it's running at 60 FPS. Although it is being streamed, so there is some type of jankiness there that you might not see like natively. But once again, the input lag I have no problem with. I honestly feel like I could fight and not have any struggles. Like, I could actually just play this game normally. This game does look a bit better than The Forgotten City, I will say, but it is still quite a bit fuzzy. I'm wondering if this game has, like, film grain that you can turn off. because I feel like that would make it look better. Film grain off. Motion blur off. Brightness turn up a little bit. Go up to 60. All right, now that we turn those off, I think it looks a bit better. Okay, so without film grain, without motion blur, this is way more palatable. It looks pretty dang good, as you can see. I would say with control, I'm pretty dang impressed so far. I'm about to get into some fights and see what that's like. The Forgotten City was pretty dang blurry. I didn't go into the settings in the Forgotten City, though. I could have checked and saw if there were like motion blur on and film grain on, which might look good natively, but if you're streaming a game, you already pretty much got that film grain looking visual because you're streaming it. So now we'll run down here. I think we're going to go into this office. This guy's going to shoot himself. So looks and plays very good. I'm trying tax it a little bit. Trying to make it go crazy. And it's staying smooth. Like I'm trying to like freak out the game. It's staying really smooth. So that was really impressive. So here we are in this section. This will be where I can test out the gameplay, how it looks and plays. Once again, I am honestly super impressed with the input lag. Like I feel like I'm playing the game natively when it comes to the gameplay. Like I'm not having any troubles at all. Go ahead and smack him. Get up here and grab this gun. You'll be able to tell if there's lag if I'm constantly missing, but I don't think I will because honestly, it's totally playable. It's like totally playable, which is honestly better than I was expecting. I was expecting everything to be terrible because the last time I tried this wirelessly, things did not work out great. How do you melee? I forgot. Is it B or A? Oh, it's X. Get out of here. So yeah, I mean, this is working. Like, this is working pretty dang good. And it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, this actually looks pretty good. Like, it's in the middle of the day right now, so my TV gets kind of a glare on it in the day. I'm actually impressed with this. Like, this is actually good. Control, so far, is totally playable on Nintendo Switch streaming. Forgotten City, I think, it was not running that great, as you saw. I mean, in the beginning, it was just chaos. Maybe it gets better as it goes, but this is running a lot better than the Forgotten City. Like, and in the bright areas like this, like, it almost looks like I'm playing natively, like in real life. So now we're about to get in some more combat so I can check out this section up here, see how that looks. And here, though, is where I can start hitting these desks and see if we have any issues. There's people in here. See if there's any hiccups of any sort. Oh, here's a guy. Where's another guy at?
Okay.
Oh, there they are. Now, some of the missing shots might just be because I'm not that great. But I'll be honest, it's working way better than I was expecting. Like, way better. Yeah, I tried to be cool and jump off the desk there, but it didn't work great. Oh, the trial ended. I thought it was a big mess up. Now, my camera ran out of recording time, so I had to do a little cut right there. But this game's, once again, a little fuzzy. Let me see if I can shut off some film grain or something, make it look a little better. Go into graphics. I guess I'll turn that off. Maybe it'll look less chaotic. Ooh, this one I do feel the input lag a little bit more. It's not terrible, though. But visually, I'm sure on your phone this looks like really great, but on my TV, from what I'm seeing right now, it is a really blurry, well, not really blurry, but it is blurry compared to Control and, what was the other one I played? Forgotten City. Like, it doesn't look as crisp, I would say, as those other games. But yeah, this is a slow-paced game either way, so yeah, it's... Oh wow, whenever I spin the camera, it looks ugly. Like, pretty ugly. Sorry if that made you dizzy, but... It's so blurry when I spin the camera. Like, crazy blurry. But when you're walking like this, it's not so bad. Once again, this is a slower-paced game. Well, there's a big hiccup right there. But this is a slower-paced game, so this would be playable on, like, Switch without any issues, I would say, because the combat's not crazy. But, once again, it's blurry. There is input lag, and you can kind of feel it a little more in this game. And it's not the best way to play the game. But if it is the only option... I would say you could play it like this. And when I'm sitting still, it actually looks perfectly fine. It's whenever I really start moving the camera around. Like, this looks, oh my God, that looks like someone puked on the TV right now. But yeah, guys, I just want to test out those games, test out the Nintendo Switch OLED model, the brand new Ethernet port. Wow, my goodness, it's an Ethernet port in 2021. It's so exciting. But yeah, I actually have been enjoying the OLED Ethernet port because I play a lot of Smash Online, and I have been noticing like a difference. I don't have any troubles with Smash Online like whatsoever. So that's really great. I'm really happy about that. And yeah, I think that if the Switch is the only option you have, then it's possible. If you have an Ethernet port or accessory, obviously, you can use the USB accessory for the original Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure if it works as well as having the actual Ethernet port. Maybe, maybe not. But either way, it's completely free to play the demos on the Nintendo eShop. And that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to test out the Ethernet port on Switch, see what it was like, see if it's worth playing games like that. I'm a little worried about Guardians of the Galaxy and Kingdom Hearts Trilogy. I don't know why the first Kingdom Hearts games could not play natively, at least the first two. Like, there's no reason why Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 PS2 games cannot play natively on the Nintendo Switch. I understand they're the HD remasters, but they really don't look all that different. So yeah, they definitely could have been native. And Square did say that it's not impossible that they end up coming natively to Switch. I'm sure it'll sell fine, and I think a lot of people on the eShop won't even realize that it's cloud version, because why would it be, especially the first two games, because they're PS2 games? I'm afraid that people are going to end up regretting their purchases once they realize the Kingdom Hearts games are cloud. Guardians of the Galaxy is a different story. It's a game that's like pushing graphics, pushing the technology a bit more, so I doubt that could play natively on Switch. But Kingdom Hearts, even Kingdom Hearts 3, I believe they could play natively on Switch, and I think it's really weird that they're not. But anyway, that's all, guys. Sorry this has been sort of a long video, I'm assuming, unless I cut out a bunch of stuff. Be sure to check out my other videos on the channel. I do reactions, I do news, I do a lot of graphics comparisons. That's been sort of my thing lately. And I also do Genshin Impact news, which a lot of people sub for that stuff. So, and I'll be doing a Genshin Impact video soon. I think I'm going to round up all the updates we've ever gotten on the game. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.